Hi learners, welcome you all to the Python playlist of our channel Iva. In this video, we'll cover the following concepts. Firstly, the difference between dynamically and statically typed language. Its emphasis with some execution examples. Secondly, I'll dive deep into the concept of dynamically typed language and will tell you more about Python as a dynamically typed language. Then I'll present some programming examples and expressions written in Python itself to make this more clear. Thirdly, we'll discuss about the concept of Python object which will answer many of your queries. So let's get started. First of all, what is the difference between a dynamically and a statically typed language? In layman terms, a statically typed language is the one in which you have to explicitly declare the variable type, that is the data type of the variable, before declaring the variable. Whereas in case of dynamically typed language, you do not have to explicitly declare the variable type. The other differences between a statically typed language and a dynamically typed languages are: in a statically typed language, the error checking of the code is done before the runtime. This means if the compiler objects detects any error, then the error is displayed before the code execution only, not at the time of compiling. Whereas in a dynamically typed language, the error checking is done at the runtime. This means errors will not be displayed until the execution of the code. Secondly, in a statically typed language, once the variable is declared, its type cannot be changed. Whereas in a dynamically typed language, you can change the type of the variable later if you want on your will. The major programming languages that are statically typed are C and C++, whereas the famous programming languages that are dynamically typed are Python and Perl. Now, you will understand more on this illustration. Here you can see in dynamic typing, you just have to assign the value 14 to variable to the name variable. Then the interpreter itself will interpret this code, and then it will think, and you can say it will assign, okay, this is a variable that has a type int. Whereas in case of static typing, you do not need interpretation. You straight away explicitly declare the variable type as int and then assign the value 40. Then the variable type is int itself. Here you can see the implementation codes in C and Python. Here we are just assigning the value 10 to a variable a and incrementing it by 1 in both the codes. In, in C code, you have to first explicitly declare the variable type as integer, that is int a is equals to 10, and then perform an increment operator. Whereas in Python code, you do not need to explicitly declare the variable type. You can straight away put the expression a is equals to 10, the value of 10 will be moved in a, and you can perform the increment operator. It is very easy to do such things in Python. That makes it more famous and famous. Now, we'll discuss about Python as a dynamically typed language. So, Python as a dynamically typed language. Here I have following examples that will tell you about the dynamic typing of Python. Here in the first line, it is the first expression where you assign an integer value 10 to a variable a. You do not have to explicitly declare integer type int. You have to straight away assign 10 to a. In the second line, I have assigned a string type value to a variable name name. Here I have enclosed the value of the string within double quotes. You have to enclose the value of a string either within double quotes or single quotes in Python. Third, I have entered the value 2.12 to variable b. 2.12 is a double or a float type value, but I do not have to explicitly declare float or double here. I can straight away assign 2.12 to p. Lastly, I have assigned the boolean value true to the variable t. In Python, there are two boolean variables as in other languages, but you have to make sure that the first letter of the boolean value true or false must be in capital. As in this case, the letter T is capital in true. Note, if the data type of each variable can be checked explicitly by the users, by the programmers, by using the function type and assigning or giving the argument as object name. I'll tell you more about this object name as an argument later in this slide. So just for this case, you can check by entering type of A and it will print class int. Now let's move on to a more major topic, that is a Python object. It is an important concept in Python and it is a prerequisite to understand the function of a Python code. In Python, the data types are considered as classes and the variables that are declared on the basis of data type are considered as an object or instance. As each variable is an object or instance, it has the following properties, that are type, property, methods. In terms of variables, each Python object is a pointer to a tree structure, where the tree structure contains information about the Python object. Let me make it clear. When you declare a variable in Python, you and you assign a value to it, it does not only means that you have created a variable and assigned a value to it. Now this variable, depending on the type of value that is stored in it, will point to some C structure that contains information about that type of variable, and based on that information, Python interpreter will know that this is the value and this is the type of the value. For example, you can see the following example. Let's say that we have assigned value 11 to A. Then A is not just an integer, but it is a pointer to a compound C structure which contains several values for that integer. For example, on looking on the source code written adjacent to it, the long integer type definition in terms of C structure is as follows. Here the C structure of the long integer type is struct long object. Then these are the properties of that structure long object, that is object reference count, object type, object size, object digit, etc. I'll explain this in the next slide. A single integer in Python contains the following four pieces, that are object reference count. This stores the reference count which is used to handle the memory allocation and deallocation in Python. Then object type. This encodes for the type of the variable. Object size. This specifies the size of the following data members. Object digit. This stores the actual integer value. So let me make it clear. When you assign a value to a variable, the variable points to a C structure. The C structure has some of these following properties based on which the interpreter determines that what is the value of this integer and what are the various prerequisites of that integer. So in conclusion, the above points state that there are certain differences between Python and C in terms of data storage. The differences are shown in the diagram and I'll explain this diagram in the next slide. A C integer is essentially a label for a position in memory whose bytes encode an integer value. Whereas a Python integer is a pointer to a position in the memory containing all the Python information, including the bytes that contain the integer value. This extra information in Python integer structure is what allows Python to be coded freely and dynamically. Here, see, when you store a value 1, assigning it to a given variable in C, then it is an integer type in C. So it is stored, for example, it is stored in a array type of a structure. You can straight away go to that memory position and assign and access the value 1. Whereas in case of Python integer, the value 1 is an integral part of what we call the Python object head structure. Here, the Python object head contains various information regarding the integer type data and including its actual value, its size, its reference count, etc. So in order to understand the data types in Python, you must keep in notice, you must keep in mind that the data types in Python are classes, and the variables of that data type are objects or instances of that data type. So I think this video would have been helpful for all of you. You would have understood the entire concept of data declaration in Python. You would have understood the concept of dynamic and static typing, and would be more clear in Python now. So if you have any queries, you can I write it in the comment box and I'll surely get to it. So at last, I would suggest you all to maintain your notes from the video. All the codes that will be presented by me on the coming videos will be shared on my GitHub repository. So keep hustling, keep learning. Goodbye.